Hey, well, hello, brothers and sisters out there. This is Commander Samuel Patterson Jr., live from Treasure Island in San Francisco, California. Today, we're going to be talking about the racist American Legions and how they let Black veterans, how they have left Black veterans. But first, I want to talk to you about the upcoming election and these individuals who are out there protesting with Blacks. We don't need white folks to be out there marching around with fighting for Black Lives Matter. We need you in Congress and in the Senate telling them the only way to get out of that box is to go in another direction. Just like the Mexican community with NAFTA, just like the Chinese community working with China and with their people, spending their money with their people, instead of us, not like us, where our money's all over the place, okay? So we want to make sure that we talk about economic empowerment for us, coming out the box, working with West Africa, working with South Africa. They got banks. There's no banks for us here now in America. We traveled to Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas, and Chicago to look at those Black banks. When we got there, we were surprised to see all the vacant buildings around the bank. We said, that didn't make no sense. We go in, but when we met with the board of directors, they only had one Black person, the rest of them were going to get the loan. Then we understood our own supermarket. Oh yeah, we from North Oakland. Was continued to take care of us. We were going to Washington, D.C., fighting for jobs for our youth, and making sure that the money that came into our city was spent well on education, and had a great influence on the curriculum as far as teaching our children. That's why we built America up so great, because we already had knowledge of how to work with buildings and bring this to fruition here and there, because of the fact that we were builders. When the 14th to 15th Amendment is not for us. It was designed for us, but everybody's been able to jump on that bandwagon and get what they want but us, which is total. Just as much as we've done for this country with our inventions that we came up with, that revolutionized the whole world for our labor. This is why reparations is very, very much on the table. You're going to vote. Make sure that your vote counts. Reparations is not on the table. Like my friend Susie Parker say in St. Louis, Missouri, and Robin Williams in Kansas City, Missouri. Don't vote. You're going to vote for what? And it's not playing with white people. God is here to make sure that these white people straighten up. If they don't, he's going to knock them out through the virus. A lot of people are going to be immune to it because God is going to take care of you. Going to take real good care of you. The days of this white superiority, them days is gone. It's their cars, that is their God. Now the Lord is taking it away from them. All the money they got, they can't even find a cure for the virus. Or they can't even, okay? So voting in this election, it's not going to mean nothing if measure to talk about the study. We already had H.R. 40 in the Congress for over 17 years, committed all type of murders against us, just like what's going on today with Mr. Lloyd's death and all the other Africans. But they want us in a military. They want us to be just held as consumers. This is why I'm advocating. Working with Africa, you'll have wealth. The brothers and sisters over there have wealth. that we can work upon the African Growth and Development Act that was passed by Congress in 2000. But reparations is not on the table, like why vote? The other issue is about sending these kids to school. Okay, sending these kids to school. This man tell you to send your precious commodity up to school where there's no virus and bring it back home and give it to other loved ones. Anyway, at this particular time. Only thing they're teaching our kids is how to be, they're taking wood shop, auto shop, mechanic shop out of the schools. College is not for everybody, but you can do people into the prison system with that bill he came up with, talking about he's sorry. He's sorry, all right. And the same thing about about him picking a black woman for a representative. A vice president. Ain't gonna do a little good for us because we're in the box. She's gonna get paid. But as far as helping us out the box with home loans, with small business loans, economic under his administration to purchase income, property, and open up small businesses with the certificate we earned with an honorable discharge. That's what I'm concerned about. Why he didn't work that. Or meet with other African American leaders of 15, 14, 15. Nobody want to get in the military to try to America when they was over there looting, killing leaders, stealing their resources. How we were used, how we definitely used. So you're talking about voting. Hold that vote. Examine if there's anything on the table for you. Okay? Because of the fact there's no sense to go to the polls and you don't get nothing out of it, and they get everything out of it. Out there trying to say everything is okay. We're all on the commercials, buying their products. Where they want us to do is to be a consumer and purchase all that crap, and all that money leaves our community. We don't have nothing. But that young black man, that young black woman that's standing up today is not for that. You've been driving your car in a circle. Your house, church, master's plantation. Your house, church, master's plantation. That's all you. That's Commander. We're still busy. So I'm going to take a shout out. We want.
Good morning. This is Pete from the VA. Hello, and you can call me back at 415-22.
Excuse me. This is Commander Patterson.
Hey, for you.
Okay. Heard him get them away from me. I don't have no upsets.
You have a good day.
You too.
Take care.
Brothers and sisters, that was the VA calling. The virus has finally came out here to California, and they check with us every day to make sure that we don't have the virus, bringing it into the hospital. Because I'm a patient. I just got out of the hospital of this infection, in which they took care of, along with my prayers from God Almighty to help got rid of that. What is taking send out a shout out to our international soccer team and our CEO, Madame Georgina Obor, and our soccer coach, Mr. Benjamin, that will be with us to train, to have our children, our men learn skills, working as engineers through the international program for our youth in great big machines, do some labor, get paid this good money, along with being able to take care of yourself and your loved one. The main thing we're trying to get over to the youth is, once you get those skills, want to teach that youth. We were builders anyway before they stole us, brought us over here to rotten America. Okay, we were builders anyway. So the virus is very, very, very real out here. And you see, the VA called me check the hospital tomorrow for a session. Can't be staying on top no more. Ball and the college ball ain't nothing but a slave camp. Work with the black veterans, spitting out certificates, and working with Africa, the African Development Bank, the African Import-Export Bank, because they make products that'll sell and stand up to any manufacturer around the world. I've been there. I was in handcrafted with a lot of the things, and they were able to our company be able to import export once God get through with this virus, because he ain't through with these white folks and the black folks that's following them. You know what I'm saying? The not Uncle Tom, because you gotta understand Uncle Tom was a great man, but we got to be able to and they'll do the same with them. And that's why we have the international soccer team. That's why we have a house in Ghana already. That's why we've already been sending $100,000 with the medical supplies to let them know we are together. We are like one. We can work together like anybody else. And that we can stand to make sure that we're showing love to our own people. And like I told you before, a lot of y'all have relatives over there. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Yeah, Robin just came on the board from Kansas City, Missouri. Okay, Robin is indicating we don't need to send our kids to school. That's a suicide mission. What that child will grow up to be, you'll never know. You send them to school, they catch the virus and get killed. We don't need white folks running around, and I'm gonna get to the racist American Legions and the veterans, but we don't need white folks running around telling us that they behind us when they're telling us, telling them they need to cut the check for reparations. You know, we look at the Devils, in 1865, when the war was over. It happened. Matter of fact, it was the federal government who did it. That's what they need to do, Robin. Cut the check. I heard that. Cut the damn check. Stimulus money. And that's why your vote is important. Stimulus money, $12. What you gonna do with that? Be gone in a couple seconds. And you don't know what type of emergency may come during that time. We're talking about them being able to cut the check through reparations for all the free labor they got for 500 years. That's right, Robin. That's right. And excuse me. Oh boy. Oh boy, my sickness. Okay. So now we're gonna get back rolling on the racist American Legions and how the racist American Legions were stopping us economically for helping out they were supposed to do. But they don't fight for the black veteran. If the black veteran has been denied, they will not help with the appeal. A racist organization started in 45, left the black veteran out. They want to control the whole thing, and Congress gave them the power. Well, what we want to do is get black veterans together and start out waiting 8-9 years for their money. You can't take care of your family. What you're going to have to do and get our own. That means if you are hurt in the service, you can get up to $3,000 because you paid into a pension. Every time you got a paycheck, they took out for your pension. Other veterans, you have non-service connected benefits. If you weren't hurt in the military, but after you got discharged and got out and you have no job and you're on the street, Well, you can report to a homeless shelter, get a counselor to turn on your money street, get you in an apartment. Even if you don't have a job, the government will put you up because you served. And they'll make sure that you turn on your money, for your benefits. This is what the VA don't want me and other individuals like myself telling the veterans how to come out of this economic stupor and stand up. Okay? You have a lot of women whose husbands were in the military, passed away, and the racist VA, along with the American Legions, refused to transfer that money over to that survivor. And that would be the certificate of eligibility that's worth $1 million if you can afford a home on that caliber, or a small business loan, plus a stipend. Non-service connected is about $2. You can get your credit together and buy you some property and be okay. But by the VA stopping us from being able to cash in these certificates, they leave a hole in our community. Pelosi got 30-day representative for black veterans, ain't doing shit. They're supposed to be working on appeals, working on how come they're not getting their money, and they're uneducated or a survivor get their benefits. You got to go through all this long thing. Whites don't have to jump through them type of hoops to get their benefits. They're going to get them white boys their benefits. We have no one fighting for us. This is why we're going to collect as many veterans as we can. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that we form our own legion connected to Congress, so we can tell them to cut that check as well. All right? This virus started here by no accident. God's given us a chance to jump ship, to come out the box, to get from this integration. Work with the African Development Bank. Work with the African Import-Export Bank. Work with our people in Africa who have an endless supply of products and resources, and a chance to meet with the linguistics. All of them had golden staffs. And if they were sitting on cocoa, they would negotiate the price and stuff for the world for their cocoa. Rubber, diamonds, oil, and I've been all those type of places so that you can come to great furniture, clothes, beads that represent something. To represent something. I want to show you this here. When you this cloth, well, they mean something, but you don't know because you're not trying to understand your own history, who you are. All those colors represent on this picture mean something. They mean something. This is why we've been trying to make sure it's there, knocking off the greedy leaders who've been conspiring as far as my reports from Africa are coming in. Okay? They've been getting knocked off. Virus is taking care of them. So what we're doing is making sure that we continue working with West Africa and eventually work down there with South Africa to be able to have economic empowerment. They got the banks. All the banks over here got white board of directors, and they're not giving us nothing. We're in the box. We got to get out the box. And that's away from that integration thing. The ones that want to stay with Massa, don't even waste your breath. Don't even waste your breath talking to them. What you got to do is be focused on what type of business you want to open. Am I going to use? They're using rubber. And these are safe investments. You know, these people got to have rubber for the tires on their cars. And yeah, Robin said we need unity. That's right, Robin. We need unity. But everybody's not going to be on that unity page. Okay, because you got the bootlickers in America. All they want is being a consumer all over again. You know, just like Robin said, from Kansas City, Missouri. Africa is our people, and we got cousins over there. You got cousins over there. Okay? Our people always go to the Bahamas. Only the Bahamas are go on a boat cruise instead of going home to see what type of investments you can get involved in and talk to our people. I was on all type of TV shows, and like I showed you before, I had these tapes in which my technician, I've been ill, so I haven't had a chance to get busy with my technician. And our real estate agent for you veterans to purchase property, single family homes, or income property, or work with open businesses. Mr. Langford is going to be able to fix that. And you'll be able to see live our real estate agent and our individuals who have the money for the loans to go through. And you'll be listening to other individuals who've done something, because this podcast is for people who's doing something. Okay? Not to talk. All this talk show, all this information is going out about what Madison look for stimulus checks, welfare, food stamps. That young black generation ain't going for this. They're not going working for massa, not having nothing. Not having nothing. We can't even leave inheritance. This country got the black man bogged down as far as talking about child support. When you take all the trades out of the schools, what do you expect the black man to do for a living? What do you expect? You gotta throw them all in prison? They made them up, they bought them. Because you can tell when you're on a job and your supervisor is dumb as hell. So how the hell did they get this position? A lot of them make their own positions. Make their own certificates of degrees up. But we want to be able to have an opportunity to work with our own people, teach our kids in the school that's going to be a reflection of our history and who we're about. Now, you got all these lotteries and gambling casinos around the country that's supposed to be taking care of our schools. They ain't taking care of jack. It's the same old racist education that's going on. A little bit about slavery, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and by the way, Abraham Lincoln hated black folks. He paid reparations to a lot of the Southerners who owned Thomas Jefferson, raped a bunch of our women nowhere, and try to make you a living other than the United States because they say you owe child support. It's definitely all men would like to get in here and take care of our children and stuff, but own people. Work with your own people who got banks and property. Your cousins over there in Africa gotta make sure they drag their feet about the stimulus check. But us being poor know how to survive on itty bitty money. Now it's time for us, like that young black man, a young black woman that's been out there protesting, to get off our asses and work with Africa, who definitely got the banks, got the economic empowerment situation up under control. Got it up under control. Now, getting back to the racist American legions, I was so successful as far as using my paralegal skills to get veterans their money. Here's our charter of the American Legions. Okay? It was given to us in March 2012. I think you can see it down there. But if you look at this, here, it says a temporary charter. So since 2012, getting money, but they didn't want to give us a charter, even after we finished passing all the paperwork. Not passing out the paperwork, but filling out all the paperwork required to get a permanent charter up under the American Legion, because these are the ones who represent us when we fight for our benefits. You gotta be close to an organization in order for them to file for your benefits, unless you go for pro per. You go for pro per, you do it yourself. You don't need the so successful, and I will be showing you clips of our meetings that we always had full enrollment. We had full enrollment for the Black veteran to purchase income property, open up small businesses. Another certificate because we were doing our thing. Even though we had a temporary charter, we didn't give a damn about that charter, the temporary charter. We wanted to make sure veterans, Black veterans, got there so they can qualify for property. Okay? We always had great participation with our veterans. We made sure that when they came, if they didn't have pencil and paper, they was provided. We had a great meal for them and professional speakers. And as we was helping this post, 198, that's what we used to be, 198. Another certificate, okay? Post 198. Here's a police report. They walked in my office. They bum rushed in there, bum rushed me in there, bum rushed their ass right out of my office. I'm from the hood, okay? And what they did was nothing. Went to the police department. I filed a police report. Nothing. So I told them, "You're gonna put your hands on me. Somebody going to the funeral house, don't you?" They didn't want the Black veteran to understand they had a certificate of eligibility worth $1 million and they could send it to buy them a home and take care of their families. You know, a lot of the Black veterans wanted to purchase income property for affordable housing. That's right, Robin. They wanted affordable housing for our people to be able to live comfortable using their certificate of eligibility that they earned with an honorable discharge. You know, for honorable discharge. So, like I said, they came in there in my office, 401 Van Ness in San Francisco, and trying to scare me off the case from filing for these benefits for the Black veterans. But like I told you, they forgot I was from the hood. I put foot in the ass too. Okay, you ain't gonna come in there bum rush me and whoop my ass and get in that way. Let's try to get it another way. So when we asked them for our charter, they're talking about, we're gonna put you out to American Legion. We don't give a damn about you putting us out to American Legion, this racist organization. They don't help Black folk get no benefits. They don't help Black widowers get their money that's owed to them from their husband. They're already going through enough grief when their husband died. Now the VA is telling them they can't get paid. But all the whites can get paid. Under this, under Title 38. We set up big events. I'll be showing you from time to time the events and how we educated the veteran about their benefits. But now you got the white banks closing down. You got the American Legions falling down. Pelosi, Barbara Lee's office with incompetent veteran representatives closing down. And like I said, in 1945, when the American Legions was, 1945, when the government gave out these benefits, 5 million black individuals didn't get it. My daddy didn't get his benefits. My father, which was a hard-working man, I worked with him side by side, sometimes in Kansas City, Missouri. He didn't get his benefits. They didn't tell him that he had the right to a home loan. As my father was dying, they never told him he had the right to go to the VA hospital. But all the time he was sick that led up to his death, they never told my dad that he had the right to go to the VA hospital. They never told him about his certificate of eligibility to buy a home or some income property or open up a small business. This is why that we black veterans out here on the West Coast is making sure that we continue to fight for our benefits. Now it's come to the point we must step to Congress. You see my bullhorn behind me about the right to go inside a veteran building. The whites don't want blacks inside the building. This is why we got to step to Congress and push the American Legions with their racist asses to the side. People said, I thought all y'all was green, y'all was the same. No, the American Legions have made it a point that they do not want to help black veterans file for their appeals. They don't want to help black veterans fill out the paperwork for their service-connected or non-service-connected benefits. If a black veteran is on the street, they won't educate them on how to get off the street because the government will pay for you to do that even if you're not working, vet. Main thing you got to do is get your certificate of eligibility. You can see here, we had workshops for the veterans. These are free. Free haircuts, working with U.S. Bank, but they pulled the plug. Once we got close to them being able to finalize the deal to buy property, this racist white bank pulled the plug. Here we're working with Chase up under the Community Reinvestment Act. And what that is, all banks must put back into the community in which they are residing, okay? All banks. So you draft up a proposal and submit it to the bank to have these free workshops so that your veteran can gain economic empowerment. Here's another one, another date for you. Just trying to show you what we've been doing in these workshops. Here it is with Wells Fargo. Another one with U.S. Bank. Just as soon as we got close to closing the deal for the black veteran, using their certificate of eligibility, these racist institutions wanted to pull the rug and say, we're not going to fund you anymore. But the federal law states you must. But no one's helped backing us up. Just like I'm saying, when Obama was in office, he didn't help back us up to get the money that was owed to us for economic empowerment. Okay? And the money that's owed to them. Have the African Development Bank come to America, sit down at the table with the professionals. Let's bring out the charts and let's talk about cutting up this money. That's what we need to do, talk about cutting up this money. That's different from the reparation check. This is what we got going for us. Yes, Robin puts on there. They need single loans for a loan for single black women. They already got them, Robin, on the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. This is how the white woman's been able to achieve, organization called SCORE. They're in all of America, SCORE. And the federal government sends money to them to show you how to put your proposal together. Make sure you have contact with your lenders. And it's not a conventional loan because you're low income. And that you can be able to get a loan to open up a business. But this is what I'm saying. They don't want to follow through with the promise of us getting those loans. Oh, they'll make us go through the formality of the meetings and things. But when it gets close, they shut us down. This is why we had to work with Dr. Claude Anderson to get our own constitution and get away from this constitution that's not doing anything for us. It's just like masturbation. Sitting around here holding up the veterans' money, holding up the money from for reparations. You got a bunch of ignorant black folks out there talking about, oh, what you need doing all that? Or in Kansas City Power Lights. What are they doing with all that money? What are they doing with all that money? Got plenty. Our thing is stop trying to act white. Stop trying to run on these TV shows, kissing white folks' ass 24/7. We all on TV now, still hugged up with them, trying to buy their products. You have no products of your own. This is how you teaching the kids how to come up and be subservient, never have any ideas and plans of your own. This is why you need a passport to go talk to your people in Africa. You need to make sure that and get off of these white folks' ass. That wasn't my dream. I Jesse Jackson running around here stomping out fires and putting them things because that individual never had a job, and neither did King. They never had a job. Pouring cement. All the rest of them never had a good job. All of them on television now with a check. They're waiting for a check. They're too ignorant to open up their own business. I was looking at Nigeria. They have a Nollywood. It's as famous as Hollywood. They make great movies. There's a business right there. Individuals can sell their tape. They got great movies coming out of Nollywood, out of Nigeria. Okay? Great movies. If you want to be able to put together a cell phone, you got to go to Africa to go get that resource. If you talk about solar, you got to go to Africa to get that. So with you, brothers and sisters over here hustling, anyway, you can hustle that money and turn it into a great profit for yourself. All my special guests would have been contributing to doing something to stop racism and getting out the box that we're put in. Don't you run around and go vote and let reparations on the table. You'll be a sucker again. From the 60s, 17, 18, 19, our jobs don't mean nothing because you can't take care of yourself, and especially out here in California where things are high. Other states, $18, $19 an hour is not going to take care of you either. We're tired of the first black this, the first black that, the first black over here. 2020, we still talking about the first black. Because of the school system conditioning us to want to work for them. Teaching the same old stuff on their curriculum, they taught us to go nowhere. Now, I drove 18 wheelers for 20 years. I was a warehouseman, certified fork driver, and our sister union was a longshoreman. So I knew I was in the game as far as taking care of myself. I had a skill, and I perfected that skill. I worked at that skill. So I would be in demand. So I'd be in demand. My friend Robin, Kansas City, is on the chat room. It's a good woman who wants to open up a pantry to feed people. Okay, to feed people, which is great. So we're gonna try to help her put that together. What you must do is get your certificate of eligibility at the federal building. You must, if you want to open up a business, start putting a plan together. And in your plan together, and make sure what we have to do. Instead of waiting around for a stimulus check, instead of waiting around for these white folks to open up a company or McDonald's or Jack in the Box with low wages for us. Work with our own people. Get you a passport. Stop driving around in a circle from Max's house to the pastors who's ripping you off. Back home. Or some amusement park, spending your money. When you could be investing it with your own people. I've been there. Like I said, let me reiterate, when I get my technician back on board, because I just got the hospital, where people want to with us. The one coming over here, your ass over here, when you were free in your own country to open up your own business with your own banks and things. Okay? We want to be able to make sure that our kids have a great legacy. And also with the education system, we need to be focused on, we had history before we came to America. Look up the Moors of hang off the shelf. A lot of African people don't even know they were African, but they're reading this now. They're reading about reparations. They're reading about a different constitution, just like the Indians. So to be a nation inside a nation. We don't want no parts of the integration system anymore. We want to have our own constitution, be able to police our own neighborhoods, be able to interact with Africa, our own people who got things. Who got things. Thanks for the thumbs up, Robin. We're gonna look at we're looking at a lot of these other individuals who's just talking. All you're doing is talking. You're talking about the murders. You're trying to stay aboard with racism of integration. You're trying to stay hooked up with them instead of they want to send our kids to school and the virus is out there. They want to send the work and the virus is out there. The country don't give a damn about you. You better start caring about yourself. That's what they're doing. The virus, they don't care. It's killing people. Now, you can be foolish to get on out there with them through the wheat and the tear. I remember that in Bible study so many years ago, the wheat and tear. God, when God comes for these people and you hanging out with them, you're going to go too. But we need to stop talking. We keep a log of that. But we should be trying to move forward and work with our own people so we can be able to have economic empowerment. And I have my gavel because I was in charge as a commander over many, many veteran meetings. And I showed you, our workshops and flyers that we put in the community. Along with our guest speakers. Missouri will be a chance to air this to her veterans. So the first thing you need to do is get your certificate of eligibility from the federal building. Once you get that, then we can be able to talk to some real estate agents in your area and set up a credit repair workshop for you. So you'll be qualified. Whether you service connected or non-service connected or gainfully employed veteran, you'll be able to spend that certificate, which we're fighting so hard for us to do. Over there in St. Louis, Missouri, the racist American Legion don't even have a building for them to meet in. As all around other parts around the country, but the whites got and demand that you give us the right to use our certificates and bring in the African Development Bank, because the Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Citibank, and Chase are racist towards spending that certificate. She's wonderful. She'll be able to help us, help the veterans who want to use their certificate. Thanks for those thumbs up, Robert. Thanks for those thumbs up. Thumbs up, Robert. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, also indicating we need to start learning how to grow our own food. That's right. We need to learn how to, the sister is right, to feed a lot of individuals. She has an exceptional, sending her to school to get her knocked off. It's not part of our own Constitution. Our own Constitution, where we'll be able to get some land, get some grants, so we can be able to move forward. That young black man, that young black woman, today, she's not going for this crap that we went for. We sitting up here kissing these white folks' ass, breaking our neck, going to work, $15, $18, $19. That ain't no money. It's not to buy products from America. You can sit up here and keep them rich. They can kiss my African ass. I never did want to work for them. I read about slavery and I said, this is Commander Samuel Patterson Jr. from Treasure Island in San Francisco, signing off and saying, we'll continue to fight for veterans, we'll continue to fight for reparations, and we'll continue banking individuals over here to talk to us. Take care.